special guest on the show, man. Battle rap legend Hollow the Dime. Welcome to No Cap, No Filter.
You already know, man. Hollow the Dawn, you already.
Hollow the Diddy the Dawn, man. First and foremost, man, how's it going, man? You recently battled a lot of my favorites, from Rum Nitty to Tay-Rock and Chess to your last battle with K-Shine, one of my favorites, man. Nothing but top tier opponents added to your resume, man. How you feeling, man?
Aim for the top and the body will fall.
Right. Aim for the top, the body will fall, man. Sound like the defense that my coach used to tell me about, man. But look though, man, before we get into this battle rap shit, before we get deep into it, man, let's give a little backstory on who Hollow the Dime really is, you know what I'm saying? So, we all know that you're from the mecca of hip-hop, New York. Man, tell me about how it was coming up, and tell me, like, what city you grew up in, man.
Well, New York City, the borough I grew up in is Queens, New York City. And yeah, it was super dope just seeing ciphers, battles on the corner. We used to take trains to go down to 42nd and see battles and shit like that. You know, shit niggas, you know, see on the internet now and could click up a button, go watch. You know, we would have to go find it, you know, go to certain areas to go find that action.
Right. And you also spent time in Houston too, correct?
Yeah. I mean, back and forth since I was a youngin', because my pops lived in Houston, so since I was 5, I've been coming out here, but officially I moved to Houston in 2009 type.
Right.
99-ish.
Which one would you say a better place to live?
You know, I aim not to comparison to death and happiness, you feel me? So I love them both, you feel me? Love both.
Right. All right, so how did you get into like battle rapping? Like, how did you get your name, Hollow the Dime, and like, who was your very first opponent before you even hit the big screen?
Man, I went to 106 in Park when it was actually 106 in Park Avenue.
Right.
So it was on 106th Street and Park Avenue. Once it got big, it was on 59th Street in the CBS building. But I went there for the audition, man, and it was just crazy to see like the picture line of like 200 people, and each is broke up in a section about 10 to 15, and they all battling each other. So, you know, you go to different battles. If you see like a crowd of 30, that's probably a crazy battle going on right there. If you see like a smaller crowd of like 6, 7, you know what I mean? They're not getting too crazy. So it was dope. So that's why I got my first like blood at right there. Hopped in there. He got crazy on me. That's not my first battle, but that's the first like time I felt blood. You feel me?
How did you like really get introduced to it, and like how you got your name?
That was the part of getting introduced to it. Just growing up in New York naturally is just around. You feel me? So it was introduced me to just my observation. But my name, it was really Flames. You know, when I was running through, I was living in Woodhaven, Queens at the time, and I was going by Flames. So that was my handle at the moment. And then I battled somebody for the name in the same area. Shout out Flames. But I felt like, yo, if he got the name, other people gonna have the name. This nigga live in the same hood, you feel me? So I was like, I gotta switch it up.
Right.
So I went to Hollow Tips. I had a few different name changes. I went to Hollow Tips, because I'm like, Hollow Tips could go through anything. I've been through, you know what I mean? Just a metaphor. And I ended up, Google came around, I ended up seeing it at Hollow Tips in South Carolina. I'm like, man, I gotta get a super creative name. So, you know, I added the Dawn to Hollow, you know what I mean?
Right. Shit, man, and the legacy started from there.
You should know that.
Alright, so where do you get your inspiration from when you like writing?
Different places, several places. One, mainly my past, my past experiences. 2, other artists, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? 3, it also could be like going to certain places, nature, being in certain environments just inspire me sometimes.
Right. How long would you think it usually take you to be prepared for an opponent?
A good amount of time is about 2 months, 2.5 is a good amount of time.
So you need like 2.5 months, like, so that's like maybe a month and a half of just writing your shit, and then the rest you like performing it. Like,
everybody got a different regimen. My regimen is usually gather as much material as I can. You know what I'm saying? And then when I feel like I got like at least 2 to 3 rounds worth of material, then I start breaking it down where it goes what. You know what I mean? So my regimen is different from what I heard other people's is.
Right. So you think like it's more harder to just, you know, coming up with it, or it's like more harder just to get it down pack and remembering the shit?
I mean, all from the second nature to me.
Right. How long you been doing this shit?
20 years battle rapping, like,
Damn.
yeah, it started like 2000, 2001, 21 years about. But as far as like professionally getting paid for like since like 2010, the last 10 years, you know what I mean? Like, really.
Yeah, they say it takes a certain amount of hours to be a professional in something. You definitely perfected your craft with this
5,000 hours.
Yeah, 5,000 hours, yeah. All right, so you mentioned early on in your career you was on 106 and Polk, you know what I'm saying? I remember you used to be on the show, you used to be battling and stuff. I used to watch you.
Yeah.
Tell me about that experience and like, how was it when you first was on that stage and you was on, the bright lights was on and you couldn't cuss?
So that's dope because you bring it back to what I was saying earlier. So I go to 106 line where people was, you know, battling the sections. I'm too young to even audition. So I go home. I come back a year later, audition again and make it, you know what I mean? Make the show. Go on the show, funny story. I got a funny 106 story. But I make it on the show and then I end up, I was already on the run for a case out here.
Right.
So I ended up getting locked up in Harlem for like, I had like 2 zips and some purple haze on me, some weed. And they were like, you getting extradited to Texas. So they extradited me out here to Texas. And you know, I ended up going to TDC. So that's like really my first 106 story. I didn't get to go there because I'm obviously in jail. So I come home on parole, go back again. You know what I mean? And make it again. And I didn't go there and say, hey, I made it before. And they're like, okay. You know, I had to go there and audition again. So I waited in line again and made it again. And this time, you know, I made sure everything was straight. Went there 7 weeks, boom. That experience was like through the roof. It was really surreal going from watching it every week to fucking being on it, you know?
Damn, man. Shit, that shit crazy, dog. You dealing with all this with the cases.
So let me tell a story real quick. So boom, after I went 7 weeks, I go to a Knick game. A fucking the dude from 106, he gives me tickets to go with him. And you know, at this time I'm fresh out of TDC, like I said. I'm really like, I'm popped as far as money goes. I got like my cousin Dutch, Jones Black, freaking homie Jones. They like throwing me money to get plane tickets because BET don't pay for that shit. So I'm flying out every week to New York, you know what I mean? And I'm at the Knicks game, you know, they gave me tickets after a win. And fucking, I'm too embarrassed to tell them I ain't got no money. So like, when they go to like, he was talking to some chick or something, I go take the gator, it was halftime.
Right.
I go, cause the seat behind the players, like we could see the players like reach. So when they in the fucking locker room, I'm like, cool. I try to sneak the Gatorade real quick. Boom. The ushers catch me. What the fuck are you doing? I'm literally almost on the court now. And you know, I'm wild already. I'm like, get the fuck out my face, nigga. Right. I get the drink of the Gatorade. I see like 3 more coming around. I'm like, oh, I'm out of here. BET nigga was hot. I had to dip out of, I was just keeping it too hood. Got kicked out of Madison Square Garden. Man, kicked me out. Kicked me out.
All right, your more recent battles with K-Shine. How you feeling about the turnout?
Oh, lovely, man. Like 2,500 people in the building. So that's always lovely. People came to support. It was a time or another where, you know, I lived out here with Smack DVDs, was out with stuff like that. It wasn't big. Smack DVDs was big, but like the battle raps wasn't big. Niggas wasn't buying them for the battle raps out here. Maybe in New York they was, in Philly. But out here they was buying them because Jeezy on that bitch, or they had some thugs on that bitch, you feel me? Like, they wasn't buying for the battle. So to see Houston, Texas, H-Town, like home of like, you feel me? You already know what it is. They out here just for battle rap, 2,500 people just listening. So that was surreal to me. Then my pops came, you know, he got to see me perform. So yeah, it was a dope night.
Think you had got like a little bit of a crowd advantage?
If I did, I deserved it from the Nitty battle from my last one. I deserved like anything I could get at this point because I never get a crowd advantage. So if I do get it, you feel me?
I had peeped Battle Rap Fanatic YouTube, and you kind of broke down how he stole twerk style. A lot of people been talking about that, and a lot of people, been saying how him and DNA, yeah, you talked about how his third verse against DNA was actually written, I think like by Mook or something, huh? So, man, is it like cool for people to like take elements from other battle rappers, like how you say he took twerk style? Because Twerk had said ain't nothing wrong with that, but he don't really think he did it like people think, making it out to be.
Well, I think it's nothing wrong with it at all when you admit it. If you sit there and say, yeah, I'm inspired by Twerk. Yeah, Twerk inspires my style right now. I think he's the dopest out.
Right.
Then we like, okay, that's what it is. He took it for face value, but when you sitting here, acting like you're not, that's when it's an issue. That's where the problem comes at, and that's what most cats do is act like, they're not inspired by other people. Of course, I'm inspired by Twerk. I might say a line or deliver. But when you got a whole style, when you're doing your whole style like him, nah, I ain't rejecting that.
Yeah, man. Shine, he one of my favorite artists, and lately, shit, I don't know. I just think when you put him up against certain people, like people that's well-rounded or people that's lyrical.
Yeah, exactly. He don't show up well.
Yeah, it's like when you give him a mirror match, he turn up.
Yeah,
but it's
or
like
somebody he feel below him, he'll turn up.
Yeah, man.
But no, Sean, a different type of animal on that big stage, so I expected him to turn up on the big stage, you feel me? But
then he would make a fade Shine too when he took off.
Yeah,
I think Mohawk Shine was the best Shine anyway.
He should have cut that round. Fuck cutting his hair. Cut that round.
But you mentioned about how Houston, they weren't really into battle rap. They was, getting the Smack DVDs because Jeezy was on it. Like, talk about like southern cities in general when they come to battle rap. Do like the rappers from the East Coast like to come out here and like perform?
They love it because in New York is so much. They're spoiled in New York, you know what I mean? So it's so much like they're like, yo, make me react type shit, you know what I'm saying? More with an attitude rather than the further you go away, the more love. Like in London, oh my God, like it's crazy. Like the gangsters in London was like coming up, showing love, you know what I'm saying? Like gangsters out here like, yo, good shit. Like no doubt, the gangsters out there like, yo, bro, for real, man, real shit, hello. You know what I mean? They're like expressing it, you feel me? Like, so the further you go from, where it's actually, I feel like it's the same thing with anything where it's the mecca of something, or the home of something. When you go outside, they love it way more, appreciate it way more, because it ain't in their face all the time.
I feel like if you buy a ticket to a battle rap event, you pretty much know the rappers, you in tune with the culture, but I just think it'd be tough crowds in the southern regions, to me.
You think so? Nah.
I mean, I went to the first event with Tay Rock and Goods when they was out here.
They was fire, right? That event was fire. You thought they was tough?
It
that was
fire.
the second one. Okay. The first one was the best one with Rum and Surf.
Well, that was the one too. That was on that card too.
Was it? So
yeah, that was the same card. Rum and Surf and Rock and Goods. I was there.
It wasn't Geechee and Surf on Rock and Goods?
Geechee and Surf was somewhere else. Geechee and Surf
was in Houston.
Well, I didn't make it. But I don't know, though. I just feel like I feel like it's just a tough crowd in the southern region, and I feel like.
But what about Double Impact? That was in North Carolina. I get what you're saying though, because Atlanta's a tough crowd. I think
Atlanta a tough crowd. Even Philly a tough crowd.
Yeah, Philly is a tough crowd.
So I don't know. And I feel like the New Yorkers or the East Coast rappers, you know what I'm saying? They feel like another thing. Southerners probably just don't catch up on the shit like right then and there. Yeah. It go over their head.
Yeah, that's the consensus a lot. But I think the truth of the matter is that with the speed, how fast you going with the delivery, because a person like Surf did real well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's delivering it a little slower at a smoother pace.
Yeah, man. All right, so what's your thoughts on the stigma of the big stage battle rappers can't break into the music industry?
I feel like I just said Surf, he's one of them dudes that's proving that point a little different.
Yeah, he getting streams.
Yeah, like you got 360, he's the biggest artist in Australia. He came from WRC in Grind Time. Mm-hmm. He's the #1 artist in Australia. You got Oxymoron, the biggest artist in Russia. He's the battle rapper. You got Jared Benson who tours with Hopkins. He came from WRC. So so many people in the music industry now. Daylight is with TDE. You know, so it's like the stigma is being broke by the work. You know what I mean?
Do you think it's a good idea for battlers to get their pay doc for consistent choking?
Yeah, if you choke your pockets, nigga.
Right.
I'm gonna choke your pockets.
Yeah, because Twerk and Surf, they've been getting away with it for a long time, and I really like both of them, and I be like, man, I hope these dudes bring 3 rounds. That's the only thing you're hoping for.
Smack me down, smack me till I Surf in the back. Look, man, we don't care about the third. Do your first 2, we out of here. You hear me?
No, man, see, I don't like that, man. They gotta start.
Oh, man, never said that.
Yeah, but yeah, man, how much you think it should be docked by?
I can't say, but it definitely go percentage base, 5-10%. You know what I mean? Percentage base.
All right. What's your thoughts on Smack dropping battles on Caffeine instead of YouTube?
I'm not excited.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. You dig? I've been watching a lot of RBE lately.
And Caffeine, let me get on Caffeine ass because they blocking us from putting up our content. Clearly, it ain't our content if they blocking us. But we can't put up the fucking battles. They stopping it, flagging it. Y'all bogus as hell, Caffeine. Y'all niggas is bogus.
You also think it could hurt like young battlers from getting exposure they need?
They're controlling the content. So when you block certain videos, people that ain't got the app or didn't go on there and see it only can see the content you allowed to go through now. Right. So now they're controlling the content of what you can see from certain battlers.
Yeah, man, because I just been hoping that Smack just drops something on YouTube because I've been watching a shitload of RBE lately. I ain't even gonna lie. And they've been doing some good battles, I ain't gonna lie.
And the funny part is I tried to get the app and it was bugging on my Android. And when I got an iPhone, it said I was already signed up in that email.
I had the app before, it was bugging. I was like, man, I don't like this shit. They need to just go back to the traditional YouTube stuff.
It should be 50-50. Everything deserves balance.
Right. Alright, speaking of balance, do you think the pandemic with performing with no crowd actually forced guys to get their pen game up, or you think it really exposed people, like who just limited and you know they can't do it?
They did both. They did both.
Yeah, man. I think certain people they crafted their pen a little bit better, but for most, I think some dudes really struggled in that one small room, bro.
Exactly.
The real lyrical dudes really shine. Like Chilla really shine.
Oh, yeah, that's what Chilla's made for. Like
Daylight shine.
Those
like,
are top 3 pins though.
Yeah.
Chilla and Daylight is like top 3, top 5 pins for sure.
Yeah. Nitty, he shine. Like a lot of dudes, that shit really catered to them in the game.
JC shine? I haven't seen much.
JC? Yeah, JC, he did good. He did good versus Twerk, but I still think Twerk ain't.
No, I'm talking about since the pandemic.
Oh, since the pandemic?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Alright, what you think the biggest difference from this era of battle rap compared to your era?
Caffeine.
Well, I mean, like, not as far as politics go, but you know, as far as the culture itself and the rappers themselves, like.
I think this era, because there's so many cats that come in now that, like, they get paid on their first battle, or they get their first battle put out on YouTube. Like, so it's a different kind of understanding of the game and how it goes. You're learning kind of as you go a little bit, you know what I mean? Especially if you're not linking up with the people that were there before. So definitely, I guess my answer is just how much, the abundance of how many battles there is and how many battle rappers there is. I guess that's the difference.
And I think a lot of cats in your era, I think some of them transitioned well and sharpened their craft into this era, and I think some of them kind of got left behind. That's just my opinion. You just a well-rounded battle rapper. You know what I'm saying? You got variety to your game. You can do it all. I think a lot of people fell behind. I think Goods transitioned good. Who else transitioned good? I think Lux definitely transitioned good.
Surf did.
Surf damn sure did. Like, it's a lot of people I think perfected their craft since back then. Ill Will did. He way much better.
And the dope part part is we still got time, you know what I mean? So it's a marathon, like Nip said, so it's like it's never over. We just seeing it. We just still writing the movie.
Where do you see the future of battle rap culture going in the future?
Oh, just like hip hop, I see like it's leaning towards the west now, and then it's gonna go down south. You know what I mean? And then it's gonna go like by overseas, just like hip hop. I think it'll be very similar to how hip hop did in the '80s. You know, it was just all New York rappers, and then late '80s it was West Coast rappers, and now South rappers.
Yeah,
Now it's overseas rappers.
I agree. Is there any more rematches you would do?
Well, what rematch I did, me and Pat Stay. I did do me and Pat Stay.
You rematched Arsenal too, huh?
I rematched Arsenal, shit.
Anybody else you would think you'll like to have another crack at?
Nah, it's people that want cracks at me, like Charlie Clips and Goods. Them dudes always brought up a rematch. I'm not excited.
Yeah, man. I think Charlie Clips. I think he pretty much stayed the same. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really think he transitioned and sharpened his craft. I think he pretty much stayed the same. He probably was even better back then, actually. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. But you know, he's still a legend.
Yeah, I got no comment.
Yeah, shouts out to Clips though. But man, I'm gonna ask you like a few traits. You know what I'm saying? And when I say the trait, I want you to let me know who you think the best in the game at.
Okay.
Alright. Being lyrical.
You talking about just hip hop?
In the battle rap.
Oh, you talking about battle rap?
In battle rap.
Being lyrical is Lux.
I agree. Rebuttal.
Rebuttal, you talking about, is myself included?
Yeah.
I leave myself out.
Yeah, leave yourself out.
Rebuttal. To go Chef Trez.
I think it's either Chef or the white boy.
Sharon?
Not Sharon, the other white boy.
Who? Pat Stay?
Nah, not
Pat
Stay.
A-Ward.
A-Ward.
Okay, damn, I ain't mad at that. Yeah, shout out A-Ward, I ain't mad at that.
Scheme.
Scheme, you gotta go chill.
I'm going chill.
It's a scheme, dog.
I don't even know why I'm asking this, but disrespectful.
What?
Most disrespectful.
Oh, come on, man. Spell bars without putting the R shit.
Yeah, ours. Performance.
Performance, I get a hit, man. I get a hit. Right now, I get the chest.
I think I like him, man. I probably would give it to Briz. If we still include him in this.
Of course.
Funny.
Funny Pat Stay.
Yes,
It definitely go, man.
I'll probably give that to Briz.
Briz is hilarious, too.
Punching.
Punching, one minute.
I get it to Nitty. Real talk.
Calico.
I get it to Geechee.
Mm-hmm.
Unorthodox.
Southside Neighbor. I would get it to Briz.
I get it to Briz.
Yeah.
Alright, last two. Freestyle and well-rounded.
Freestyle, I give the DNA. Well-rounded, I give the Clips. Just because he's well-rounded. I literally get well-rounded the Clips.
Alright, freestyle, I probably get the DNA too. Well-rounded, I'm gonna give that to Will.
It will?
I'm gonna give that to Will. I'm gonna give that to Will, bro.
You know what? That might be a better one than Clips. It will, right?
Yeah, especially right now, Will on fire.
Mad at that. It will.
Yeah, I think he well-rounded. I think you and Will have a good battle too.
Yeah,
You and Will
definitely
and you and
talks about
Briz.
it. It's definitely talks about me and Will, no talks about me and Briz.
Well, the way y'all styles is, how y'all just are well-rounded, y'all unorthodox, and y'all can just do a lot to really perform and entertain the crowd. You and Briz and you and Will's will be dope to me.
I think me and Briz have an amazing one.
Alright, you battled Lux and you also teamed up with him versus Chess and Rock. How is it right with Lux and preparing with a lyrical wordsmith like him?
Man, it was definitely challenging, super fun and creative. It was challenging to see his regiment and see what he goes through and realize that we got a lot of the same regiments and shit like that. So it was super dope. Like he definitely pushes the pen. Like he's funny because like I'm the type I come up with some shit and I get to like putting it down in my head, saying it over, And you know, I see him like he done went out to eat and shit, came back, I hit the gym. And I see him like aimlessly walking and I'm like, what you doing? You got something new? And he's like, nah, I'm adding something to that thing. I'm like, bro, I thought we finished it. I got something else for that thing. So he never gives up. So
yeah, man, that's Lux for you, man.
That's dope.
What's your prediction if he battle Daylight?
If Lux battle Daylight? I don't know if that's
I knew you probably say Lux, but Lux 2-1.
yeah, that's all I was thinking. Is it a 2-1 or a 3-0 is the only debate, and I'm thinking about 2-1.
Big room or small room?
Daylight's rock battle is amazing.
Should it be in a big room or small room?
Small.
Small? You don't think it should be on a big stage?
I do want it on a big stage, but I think all the fans want it on a small room. So I just said that for them.
And what if from the out the gate, Lux just throw on the gray hoodie and then Daylight throw on
the ski mask,
the ski
right?
mask.
That building gonna erupt.
The building gonna be rough, dog.
Yeah, they gotta do that battle definitely by next year, the latest. They shouldn't drag that off.
I think Lux need to go on this one right here. I think he definitely need to battle Daylight. He need to battle JC. He need to battle B-Dot. Has he battled Chiller?
No.
He need to battle Chiller. And I say King Los. If he go on that run right there,
In a year?
not a year, but I'm just saying that's what I think should be his next battles.
Gotcha.
I think that's what everybody want to see, especially him and Daylight and JC. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody waiting on him and Daylight. Like, motherfuckers gonna have to watch that battle 10 times just to pick up on everything, and they still gonna be catching shit they ain't catch the first time.
10 weeks later.
10 weeks
Still
later.
catching shit.
What's your thoughts on Cassie?
I ain't no thoughts on
Do you think he transitioned into this shit better than Joe Budden?
Oh, of course.
If he battled Conceited, what you think would happen?
I never even thought of that.
I think Conceited eat him alive, even though Conceited been away a long time.
It's hard to say because it's just like theorizing. It's hard to say.
I'm not impressed by none of Cass battles, me.
Not the disaster battle?
Hell no, that's probably the worst one. To me. Well, he battled him 2 times, right?
Oh, yeah, because you probably talking about the one on stage.
Yeah. Well, as far as the Goods battle, the Hitman battle, and the Arsenal battle, I wasn't impressed at all. You spoke on how you feel about Will and him being well-rounded. Like, is that somebody you would like to see, or that just people talking about you seeing?
I mean, we in Houston. I'm talking about the fifth wheel. You know, well-rounded. The fifth wheel, the wheels well-rounded. Pop the
Crazy how
trunk.
you could come up with something just like that.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about the battle rapper. When I said the wheels well-rounded, I was talking about the fifth wheel, NH. Nah, I mean, Will, they definitely called me for Will. Earlier this year, I already had Rum on the plate, had Shine on the plate. So now I'm just seeing what's up. That definitely possibly can happen. Definitely.
What's your thoughts on Briz Rothstein's hiatus?
Man, I want to see Briz come back, man. I definitely love to see that.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping he come back. He was one of my favorite, like, probably my favorite,
Man.
like, before he had left. But
Briz an animal. Like, Briz a different type of sandwich. You
Yeah.
just know that.
see, that's why I want to see you and him battle, because both of y'all just so witty.
Yeah, that's my guy, though. It's, like, difficult to bet. I ain't battling people I'm cool with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that shit.
Do you think the battle rap game had kind of got watered down by people being so cool with each other?
Man, super.
Over
That's why I be
years?
falling back, because you befriend somebody, it's over. It's almost like you ended a possible match. So I just be like on my dolo shit, one deep for Delph. Like,
That and the battle rap groups. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot
Yeah.
of groups. I be like, damn, I wish she could go against him.
exactly.
Like, I've been wanting to see the mirror match with Twerk and Shine for a long time. But
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
he was
exactly.
with NWX for a brief
Or
moment.
like gangs,
Yeah.
they'll be in the same gang, can't battle. So, you know, that's just how I go with them. With me, like I'm the one man army out here. Like Lux could get the rematch. I don't know. Like, let's go. Like, you know, he the same way.
Right.
Just say the same shit. We don't play about this.
You gotta have a competitive nation.
Got you.
What's your thoughts on the Drake call?
Cause you saying thoughts, I don't be thinking about other niggas shit too much.
I think he could pick a way better card.
Geechee and Lux is amazing. Twerk vs. Rock is fucking through the roof, hands down.
That's the one I'm really waiting.
Yeah, that's probably the best battle on the card, hands down. Like that battle's gonna be a crazy back and forth. Like they gonna go to war. They both passionate about their shit. Real Sick vs. Pat Stay is amazing.
Yeah, sick.
Those three is at the top of my must see. Like them three is super duper fire. And you know, it's other fire ones, Rum and Rex, just them. That battle I never thought to see, but just seeing Rex and Rum period is always fire. So
Rex another one I felt like he could have transitioned better with his craft into this era. He another one to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, that card's pretty stacked though. That card is super, especially when Mook was on it. That card was super stacked.
Who he was supposed to battle?
Brits.
I wonder who backed out that shit.
Yeah.
I wonder who did. But man,
I can tell you that off camera.
Tell me that off camera, man. Tell me that off camera. What's some battles that you would like to see that haven't went down?
Oh, you just said Daylight and Lux. I like to see Royce and Mickey Fax. I like to see Lloyd Banks and Gerald Ryder. Who else? I like to see Wyclef and Busta Rhymes. Them type of battles I want to see. Tell Caffeine like that shit at.
Now, as far as industry dudes getting in some battle rap, you know what I'm saying? I would like people who I think would transition good into battle rap, who industry, I think Fab would.
Fab versus Banks.
I think Wayne would. I think
Weezy ball for ball. Go
maybe
Cam. Cam did that freestyle. Surprised me, and I'm a big Cam fan. I'm just saying, surprised me on some battle shit, making me think he could battle.
Right. What you feel about the verses they had with Dipset?
Oh, that was legendary. That was legendary.
Yeah, Kiss had kind of exposed him though, but you know, it's still all good. I was rooting for Dipset, but it's still all good.
It was still legendary to see, man.
It's still all good.
Even in defeat, man, it's still beautiful.
Alright, speaking of battle rap and industry guys, you know what I'm saying? DMX. What was your thoughts on him passing, man? Like, how did that take a toll on him?
Man, shit was surreal because it was just like, I really looked up to DMX as a kid, you know what I mean? And his music I still played all the time before that. Even Black Rob that passed a month before him, I remember posting his album Life Story about 3 weeks before he died. And feeling good, like, yo, I gave him his flowers. I don't know if you ever seen it, but, you know, I always did that. I always still continue to do that. But DMX, it was a different type of sandwich to digest, because that's the dog, like.
You ever met him?
Nah, I never met DMX, man. That was definitely like on the bucket list of people to meet. DMX energy just seems so well, it is genuine. It would have just been dope to, like, you know, clash.
I think it'd be a dope idea if you and a couple of other New York battle rappers like did like a tribute, like a cipher, like on camera on that Get At Me Dog beat. I think that'd be dope. Like you and maybe 3 other cats. You know what I'm saying? That'd be fire. Right on that Get At Me Dog beat. That'd be the perfect beat to do it on.
That or niggas done started something. Those are my 2 go-to like DMX beats.
Alright, so what's your take on industry rappers talking about dead ops and, you know, smoking on iPads and stuff? And you a battle rapper, so you come from the
disrespect lane.
lane.
I'm not really for it. I'm not really for dissing the dead in any shape or form, whether it's on the rap, whether however you do it, because, you know, once you cross that line, it's like, you know, everything's out the window. So.
What's your Mount Rushmore battle rap?
Mount Rushmore battle rap. That's hard, man. I don't think I got one. I be trying to do one before. I can tell you my old one.
Okay, what's your old one?
My old one was Disaster, Mook, Lux, and Verb.
Yeah, Verb got a good battle coming up with against
Head Ice.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a goodie.
That's gonna be good right there.
Yeah, that was my old one. Not saying it changed, but it's too hard to just do forward, you know?
Alright, so you have LOM clothing now. Tell us more about that and like what made you choose the name and what's next for it?
Well, the name came about when I was in the 7 TDC, writing this rhyme. And I mentioned Dame Dash, I mentioned Jay-Z, I mentioned Jim Jones and Cam. At this time, they all split up over the bread. So that's what made me, realize, like, what could I do about this? Because this is like the biggest groups in hip hop at this time, like breaking up over money, Dipset and Rockefeller. So Loyalty Over Money came out there in 2005, and the clothing brand came about in 2010. So, since then we've been going strong. LOMclothing.com if you want to cop up. This coming out in about 2 weeks. We just dropped the red one. It's the Time to Shine hoodie. So it's just, all about different ideas. The heart broke with the money, just to show, families get broke up over money. Friendships get broke up over money. It's loyalty over money.
Right. I respect that, man. So what's next for it, like in terms of what you got your future plans of?
Just expanding, pushing ethical business. So we're doing a loyal supporter program where we give rebates to customers, we give signed items to certain customers with a certain amount of orders. Just showing ethical business, making sure everybody is taking care of their supporters.
That's what's up. Alright, shit. How long you plan on battling? What's next for Hollywood?
Man, you just said it. LOMclothing.com, man. Support the clothing line. I aim not to just put too many future endeavors out there unless it's already ready to be sold or ready to be distributed.
Alright, so before we wrap things up, you got any shout outs you'd like to make?
Yeah, just follow the YouTube, Hollywood Dawn, LOM. Follow my YouTube. Check out the video, Ben Loopy featuring Jim Dudge. Check out Way Too Much featuring my boy Livio. You already know.
Alright, there you have it. Hollow the Dime. It was a pleasure having you, man. I appreciate everything you've done for this culture. I'm proud to be a part of this culture as a fan. And thanks for rocking out with me on No Cap, No Filter.
You already know, man. Hollywood Dawn hanging with Mr. Loopy.